Hey students, so as I said, I'm going to be out today, but I will definitely be back on Tuesday, and I can't wait to read your FRQ responses from your fabulous Unit 4 take-home exam and FRQ. So I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of explain some tips and tricks and go over the outline sheet that I decided to make after having a conversation with one of you guys here on Wednesday. So forgive me. I know screencasts are weird. Watching your teacher narrate a a video and telling you what to do is strange, but trust me, it's very, very effective. So everybody should have this handout. Okay, and I want you guys to really just pay attention to what I'm saying. Now, the outline sheet is optional, though highly recommended, because even if you feel like you're a master of your craft, it's always good to have a little bit of guidance and a little bit of help, especially when it comes to an FRQ that is going to be part of a test score. So if you're looking at the outline sheet as I am showing it on this video, the first thing is that I want you guys to understand is that this FRQ is a combination of Unit 2, Research and Methods, and Unit 4, Sensation and Perception. So you're definitely going to have to refer back to Unit 2 and Unit 4 because it's been a while since we've looked at research techniques and some of the research terminology. But let me put it to you this way. Almost all FRQs have a little bit, if not a lot, of Unit 2 in it because it really does help to formulate good questions for you guys to assess and apply concepts to. So read and reread the research scenario. I cannot stress this enough. You need to be comfortable with it. You need to really consider the following. What kind of research am I looking at? What is the purpose of this research? What is the researcher's goal? But remember not to infer more information than is directly given in the scenario. Because if you try to, include more than what is given, yes, it's a small little paragraph, but trust me, there's enough information there for you to write a really good response to your FRQ. And this particular research is having to do with the perception of geometric shapes and looking at comparison groups. So outlining is very important with an FRQ. So let's go through this sheet part at a time. So part A, you're simply identifying the independent and dependent variables from the research scenario, that paragraph, which is fairly straightforward. If you don't remember what independent versus dependent variables are, look them up. Can't stress that enough. Remember that when you are writing your definitions of your independent and dependent variables, you need to say the importance of the variables in relation to research in general, and then when you are applying, all you're doing is identifying those variables within the research paragraph that it's given you. That's the application itself. So don't let that trip you up. And I understand that this outline worksheet, the boxes might be a little too small, but this is just an outline. This is not going to be your finished product. All right, so take your time. Part A should be easy. Everybody should score on this. And remember, and I'm going to stress this a lot, definitions alone do not score. Saying this with intensity close to the mic, definitions alone do not score. Almost every single FRQ I have ever seen released from College Board from 2005 on, that is listed in bold print right on the instructions for you guys to understand. All right, so don't think you can get half points by just doing definitions. Not going to fly with me. Now let's look at part B. So they give you 3 points in part 3. It basically states identify the role of each of the following psychological terms in the context of the research. And I bolded and I made it bigger because you have to remember you're only talking about the research. Do not use outside examples. Do not bring in more information than what it is asking you. Remember that an FRQ that you're going to see on your AP test in May, you have 25 minutes to do it. You have no time for extra fluff, for commentary. It's not necessary. Sorry about that. Had to take a brief pause to answer a phone call. So anyway, as I was saying, when you are identifying the role of each of these particular mechanisms within the context of the research, you have to make sure that not only your definitions are structured enough to where they make sense in the context of the research, but your application, you're simply talking about the role of each of these things. So we have 3 that you're identifying in Part B. Fovea vision, or foveal vision, okay, which has to do with the eye. Feature detectors, which again are part of the eye, but it also has to do with processing in the brain. And then finally, the Gestalt principle of closure. So you have to think about how those 3 elements are used in the perception of geometric figures. Okay, take your time on this. If you are confused on these concepts, read the book, read your lecture notes. All right, there's no reason to rush. This is a take-home test. Now, Part C, the final part. So you're going to describe each of the following terms as it relates to the conclusions that can be drawn based on the research. So this is where I can't stress this enough. Do not infer more information. The conclusion is very simple in this research scenario, and it's simple for a reason. So when you are looking at random assignment and statistical significance, the thing is that yes, you need to obviously define them, but when you're applying them, you have to talk about why is random assignment important in the conclusion and the results of this research. Because random assignment plays a very important role. Without random assignment, results cannot be generalized to any other population other than the original research. So therefore, it's not as, without random assignment, let me put it to you this way, it narrows the audience of what this research would apply to. So that's why it's important. Now, with statistical significance, remember that in order for there to be statistical significance, there has to be either a positive or a negative correlation. And the thing that I want you guys to understand, correlation is not causation, always remember that, but by comparing the means from both of the groups of the results of the research, you can determine whether or not there is enough statistical significance to definitively say that my research proved whatever my hypothesis was. All right, so once you are done with that and you have outlined, because I can't stress this enough, guys, after looking at the, FRQs that you guys did as partners, like, use the outline. And once you have the outline done, then go back through and make it simple for yourself, okay? I'm going to show you right now. You're going to go and write Part A, and then you're going to define, write your statement, apply, you can even just put an A, write your statement, move on, okay? That's why we always use the DAM acronym, because that's all it has to be. You don't need introductions. You can jump right into the deep end of the pool. And in fact, that is the way that we teachers want you to write this. All right? So keep it simple, keep it structured. Do not worry about conclusions. Do not worry about introductions or transition sentences. They are not needed. You're basically going to take this outline and you're just going to rewrite it and you're done. How nice is that? Because this is take home, you guys can use all and any of the resources that I've given you. Okay, if you have any questions after the screencast, please feel free to email me. I am available through email. I just can't be there today. All right, so good luck to all of you. I know you'll do fantastic. Best wishes, Mrs. Connor.